What's up, YouTube? Back with another video, and today we got a lot of 2K24 news. So 2K dropped this courtside report blog post, and so I'm gonna briefly touch on a few things that they mentioned here, and we also gonna look at a couple of Mike Wang's tweets at the end. He's been on Twitter a lot talking about the game, answering questions and stuff. So yeah, that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing they talk about is ProPlay, and ProPlay had, got like announced like a little while ago. And at first I thought it was just like some marketing scheme, just a way to, market the game and, get people hyped. It actually seems like a really good feature. So basically what ProPlay is they're able to take actual in-game NBA footage and put it into 2K without having to mocap it. So, all of the movements and animations, everything had to be mocapped, but now they can kind of skip that and just take parts from actual NBA games and put it into 2K. I'm pretty sure they're still going to use mocapping, but now, they have another way to put, different animations and movements and stuff in the game. And so like they showed this example with Kevin Durant, and yeah, it looks basically exactly the same. So they're able to do things like that with ProPlay. And then they also talk about, with the addition of ProPlay, you got all this new stuff. So you got new jump shots, new dunk animations, layups, dribble moves, passing animations, and just signature movement, they call it. So they say like, casual inbound passes or like things that they don't mocap are now able to be added to the game. And so this just gives the game, some more realism. It gives players a lot more individuality. Players are actually move and, feel like themselves and different from everybody else. So seems like a really good feature. I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. They also talked about play calling, and freelances as well. So the 2K Smart Play is back. They had it and then they took it away. Now it's back. People have been asking for it or what happened to it. But yeah, now that's back. That's cool. They also made some changes to the favorite plays. So now you can choose up to 16 of your preferred actions, they call it. So before the czar, he put on Twitter, it says started it like this, the favorite plays used to be separated between your starters and bench, but now they removed that. So now you have 16 spots in order to use plays, or even someone like the little quick mini actions that they said that they added. So where they talk about that right here, like these mini actions are 2 actions combined for like quick combos. So like they say give flare, a handoff into a flare screen, of give fist, handoff into a pick and roll, fist flare, pick and roll to a flare screen. So they said they added 5 of these. So definitely gonna be trying those out. And they also created this new freelance called comp. It's basically just a 5-out freelance, but it just doesn't have any actions. It just has 5-out spacing. So like when you used to use like Bucks 2018, Clippers 2018, Denver 2018, you get the 5-out spacing, but a lot of times it just start just running actions when you didn't want it to run. So now you can have 5-out spacing and just do whatever you want, right? So like you can use some of like your favorite plays. You can use some of like the little quick double action mini plays, they call it. So I'm definitely going to be giving this a try. I don't really even run 5-out that much, but I'm definitely going to try it out. They also have a cut to the basket setting. Usually it's on automatic, but now you can change between automatic and manual. So I know a lot of players don't like it when the AI just cuts for no reason. So now you can just put it on manual, and now they'll only cut when you tell them to cut. So that's pretty nice. And they also have another new freelance called the motion freelance. And this freelance is just based on whoever is on the court, and it'll run actions for your best player. Automatically runs actions for your best player on the court. It'll also change as well. Like there's no set form. So it could be 3 out, 4 out, 5 out. And it could be updated throughout the year with roster updates and stuff. So that's pretty cool. That, as well as the 2K the smart plays being back, I really like those 2 features because it can really help bridge the gap from people who don't run like freelances and plays and stuff, but they want to, they usually don't know like what to use or how to do it and stuff. So like that's one of the most common questions I get is like, what freelance should I use, or what playbook or play should I use? And now you have 2K Smart Plays as well as the motion freelance to kind of get yourself accustomed to using like plays and freelances and actions, and then from there you can branch off and use other things and try out other things. So like I like those two features because it bridges the gap and makes it like a little bit easier to get into that type of play style. So now we're gonna get into shooting. Shooting was a really hot topic last year, and so they've made some adjustments to that. So firstly, players playing on Hall of Fame or in the record city will be playing on green or miss timing, whereas team-based modes like quick play, my team, my NBA, you see more forgiving shot timing, so you don't have to green every single shot in order for it to go in. And I actually don't mind this. I didn't mind green and miss for all modes last year, but especially when it came to like quick play in my league and my team, a lot of people didn't like the fact that you had to memorize 10 different shots, and plus you also had like the variable shot timing, so like your jump shot can change based on like stamina, contest, and all that other stuff. So people didn't like that too much. And so now for quick play, my team and everything, you don't have to green every single shot. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's interesting to see how that'll work in my team though, just because towards like the middle of the year, cards just get absolutely souped. So now you don't have to green every shot. We're gonna have to see how that plays out. But for play now, I don't mind it. That's cool with me. And having to green everything in rec or in the city, I'm cool with that too. You're only controlling one jump shot, so I feel like you should have to green that shot in order to make it. So I'm cool with this. They also changed shot release timing. So before they had early, late, very early, very late, but now they have converted to shot timing visual cue. So now you can set it to like the jump, the set point, or the shot release in order to release the ball. I would need like a visual of how that would look. So when the game comes out, I'm definitely going to be in a lab trying out different shot releases and see how that works out. And when it comes to shooting, Mike Wang also put on Twitter that your opponents and teammates won't see your shot meter online, but his advice is to turn off the meter because it'll increase your green window by 20%, which is actually crazy. I don't ever remember it being that high. I mean, 2K never like put out actual numbers, but like 2K23, I don't think it mattered too much. Neither did 2K22 because everything just went in that game. But I could have swore that like the boost for no meter was like 5% or maybe even 10. But I think it might have been like 5 or something. I don't know. But 20% is actually crazy. I play with no meter anyway, so I'm definitely gonna be turning the meter off. He also said variable shot timing has been toned down, so like you won't get 10 different releases for the same shot. And he also talked about like more advanced shots. So fades got a buff in the mid range and a big nerf at the 3. So people just won't be running and shooting fading 3s that much. We'll see though when the game comes out. They always say that and people always find a way to do it. And he also said, yeah, generally all advanced shot types, spins, step backs got a buff in the mid range, as well as layups. We're going to talk about layups too in the blog post. But yeah, Euros, floaters, reverses, hops, quick scoops all got a buff too. Sounds good. So yeah, they also made some changes to finishing as well. So layup timing is now on by default, which was never the case. You used to always have the option to turn it on or off. Most people turned it off just because you didn't need to have it on. But now it's on by default, and they also said it's much more forgiving for easy finishes at the rim. So if you got a pretty open layup, you probably don't need to green it. You can kind of release it almost whenever and it'll still go in. But if you want to, do like fancy layups and circus layups in traffic, then, you got to time it right, which is cool. It says you also find that advanced layups like floaters, reverses, euros, hop steps, and scoops are much more effective this year, which is nice. Towards the end of the year, I started messing around, especially like with the quick scoop layups. But yeah, layups, they just sucked. Like there was no reason to do a layup when dunks they were more consistent and they were safer. So it was like the only reason you would do a layup is to, if you're just like me, you just want to try different stuff. And I was having, a little bit of fun with the quick scoop layups. I did wanted to use it with a guard that actually couldn't dunk because I was using it a lot with Derrick Rose, but I wanted to try it out with guards that actually couldn't dunk, but I just never got around to it. But since layup timing is on, Mike Wang also put on Twitter that there's new controller settings. So one reason why I never turned on layup timing is because, well, one, you didn't need to, but another thing was I used no meter. And so when you had meter off, you had meter off for everything. I couldn't turn the meter on for only layups and then have it off for jump shots. So now you can do that. So they have separate toggles for shots, layups, free throws, as well as control type, pro stick or button. And then you can also reposition and resize everything on your screen. So your shot meter, your player indicator, fatigue bar, or whatever. So there's a lot more customization with the settings. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have meter off for my jump shots, but I'll probably use the meter for layups and stuff like that. So that's a really good addition. And as far as dunking goes, is holding down on the pro stick would give you flashy dunks. They used to be like that. Last year they made holding down give you like a two-hand dunk, but now down gives you flashy dunks. But they also say meter dunks are green or miss on higher difficulty levels, so you have to be precise when finishing a play. So if you're trying to contact dunk somebody or you use the meter, you're gonna have to green it, which I'm fine with that. People would like doing meter dunks but getting earlies and lates and still making them in 2K23. So now if you want to dunk on somebody, you're gonna have to green it, which I'm cool with. So now getting into dribbling is kind of the same as far as like the controls and you flicking the right analog in different directions to get different size ups and hesitations and crossovers. But they did add this new blowout dribble feature. When you tap the sprint trigger, your ball handler pushes the ball ahead of him to get out quickly in transition. So yeah, that could be a really cool thing to use in transition, because I feel like in transition the players, they don't move as fast as they could. And I remember they actually used to do that in some like couple of the older 2Ks. Like when you're in transition, like the player will dribble with the ball in front of them and like just move a little bit faster, but it was done automatically. But now you can manually do it, which is cool. And you can also use it like if you're in the front court, you can use it for like a quick change of pace and like blow by somebody. So we'll see how that ends up working out. But the next thing is adrenaline. Adrenaline was another hot topic last year, and me personally, I didn't mind adrenaline. As a play now player, my biggest gripe was not adrenaline, but the actual stamina bar itself, or like the actual base stamina, because I can do like all players don't have Hall of Fame and gold handles for days and play now like they do in the park or even my team, right? So I can do like a couple size up dribbles and do one move that takes adrenaline, and I wouldn't have any stamina left. So I couldn't use that last 1 or 2 adrenaline bars if I wanted to. So my problem was always with the actual base stamina and not necessarily the adrenaline bars. Also, when I run plays, like I could have a guy run from the corner to the top of the key and he'll have a half a bar stamina just from running through a couple screens. Like I feel like that shouldn't happen. So I personally didn't mind adrenaline boost. My problem was with the actual base stamina. But they say adrenaline boosts are back, but they don't work how they used to. So on offense, you don't longer lose a adrenaline bar when pulling off dribble combos or moving short distances. So like you get more freedom to dribble and whatnot, which is fine. But they said boosts will disappear every time the all ball defender bumps the ball handler on a drive. So it'll be interesting to see like how that would work in how what type of bump is it? Like is it just like a little bump, or is it like a cutoff type of bump, like you dribbled one way and then the defender beat him to the spot and cut him off and like bumped him, so now he has to back up a little bit? Will that cause some adrenaline, or like will just like little bumps force them to lose adrenaline. Because like, what if someone's full court pressing you and they kind of just like on your hip and they're just bumping you as you like walking up the court? Is that gonna take adrenaline? Because I feel like that shouldn't. But the first example I said, where like if you do a move and someone beats you to the spot, cuts you off, and like bumps you, and you start dribbling backwards or whatever, I feel like that should lose adrenaline. But yeah, we'll see how that works. And it also says it's like when you lose adrenaline, instead of making you move slower, your shooting attributes will heavily be impacted. So we'll see how that works, because having low stamina in the past, like your jump shot would have been slower, but it's like we've seen people make shots with low stamina, especially in play now. People will have Gatorade cups and still be like moving and walking around regular. It doesn't even seem like their attributes are being affected. So we'll see. Now getting into defense, they say the defense has been improved. So perimeter and paint defense are more effective. Better responsiveness and less sliding, and also directional steers are back, which is pretty nice. So now instead of pressing X or square hoping that they reach with the correct hand, you can flick the right analog left or right depending on which hand you want to steal the ball with. And I know I could have swore this used to be in one of the older 2Ks and then like it just disappeared, but now it's back. Yeah, really great feature, because a lot of times you can be in position for a steal and they'll just reach with the wrong hand, and it's just like so now you have more control over that. And you can also use it in the passing lanes as well. So that's pretty good. But again, we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. They did talk about some other things, like they talked about some substitution changes. They talked about changes to takeover. So I just talked about the things that really caught my eye. I'll leave a link to this whole blog post in like a pinned comment or something. But yeah, let me know how y'all feeling so far, what y'all think about the news. And yeah, as always, hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content.